The desert sun scorched the horizon, turning the highway into a shimmering mirage. The convoy of police vehicles slowed to a crawl, their flashing lights cutting through the dry air. It was supposed to be a routine prisoner transfer, nothing extraordinary. Yet as the lead truck rattled past the checkpoint, a low growl rumbled from the back seat of Officer Elena Carter's cruiser. Rex, her loyal canine partner, had never behaved this way before. His ears were stiff, his muscles tense, his amber eyes locked on the truck ahead. Then, without warning, he lunged forward with a ferocity Elena had never seen, his claws scraping the door, his bark echoing across the empty highway. It wasn't a bark of aggression. It was something else, an urgent, desperate cry for attention. Something was terribly wrong. If you believe in the power of animal instincts, loyalty, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who loves heart-touching stories. Comment your thoughts below and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Together, we can spread kindness and celebrate the incredible bond between humans and animals. Elena's heart pounded as she tightened her grip on Rex's harness. She had been a canine handler for 6 years and had learned to trust her dog's instincts more than her own. But today, that trust felt like a lifeline. The truck ahead looked normal enough, a standard police transport with barred windows and an armed escort. Still, Rex's reaction gnawed at her. She flicked on her siren, pulling alongside the vehicle, signaling for it to stop. The driver didn't slow down immediately. Instead, the truck swerved slightly, as if hesitant before pulling to the shoulder. Dust billowed as it rolled to a stop. Elena stepped out, feeling the weight of the dry wind and the tension in the air. The other officers moved in with routine precision, but Elena noticed Rex was trembling now, not from fear, but from urgency. He barked again, lunging toward the truck's rear door, straining against his leash with such force that Elena had to brace herself. The other officers exchanged puzzled glances, but no one questioned the canine. They knew these dogs could smell danger long before humans could. Still, this wasn't the scent of drugs, weapons, or explosives. This was something else entirely. The padlock on the rear door clanged as an officer brought out bolt cutters. Every second felt stretched thin, like the air before a storm. Elena knelt beside Rex, her fingers brushing his fur, feeling his rapid heartbeat. "What is it, boy?" she whispered under her breath, though she knew he couldn't answer. His eyes flicked from her face to the door, back and forth, pleading. With a metallic snap, the padlock broke, and the door creaked open. What spilled out wasn't a weapon or contraband. It was silence, broken only by faint, muffled cries. Hands reached out from the dim interior, small hands, trembling hands. Children, 6 of them, their faces pale and eyes wide, crouched inside the sweltering heat of the truck. Their clothes were torn, their lips cracked from thirst. The officers froze. This wasn't a prisoner transport at all. This was human trafficking, hidden under the guise of official transport. Elena's knees nearly buckled. She'd seen many horrors in her years on the force, but nothing prepared her for this. She motioned for water, blankets, anything, as the children clung to the doorway like frightened sparrows. Rex, sensing their fear, softened instantly. He sat at the edge of the truck, tail still, eyes gentle, as if telling the children they were safe now. One little girl reached out, her tiny hand trembling, and Rex leaned in, letting her touch his head. It was the first time the children smiled. The hours that followed were a blur of radio calls, medics arriving, and the arrest of the driver who had tried to flee but was caught moments later. Elena learned that the children had been missing for days, taken from different towns, their families frantic with worry. The truck had been on its way to the border, hidden under fake police credentials. If not for Rex, they would have vanished forever. As night fell, Eleanor sat beside Rex, stroking his fur as he rested his head on her lap. She thought about how easily this could have ended differently. She thought about the power of trust, not just between officers, but between a human and a dog who refused to ignore his instincts. Rex wasn't just a canine. He was a lifeline, a hero in a vest marked simply canine. She felt a lump rise in her throat as she watched the children being reunited with their families one by one. the sobs of relief echoing into the twilight. Weeks later, the story went viral. News channels hailed Rex as a hero, but Elena knew the truth was deeper than headlines. It wasn't just heroism, it was compassion. Rex had felt something in that truck, fear, desperation, a silent plea, and he acted. Elena found herself speaking at schools and community centers, telling the story not just to praise Rex, but to remind people of the quiet courage animals show us every day. If this story touched your heart, please let us know by liking the video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to Pawsitive Tales. Your support helps us bring more stories of courage, compassion, and the extraordinary bonds between humans and animals to light. Special request to comment: what's one unforgettable act of loyalty or kindness you've seen from an animal? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to feature some of your answers in our next video. In the end, the image that stayed with everyone wasn't the truck or the arrest, but the sight of Rex, sitting calmly among the rescued children, his vest catching the last rays of sunlight. A silent guardian who refused to let innocence be taken without a fight. It was a reminder that sometimes the bravest heroes don't wear badges or uniforms. They wear fur and trust their hearts.